What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a monthly forecast for the month of December 2020. It is the last month of 2020, this crazy ass year. OM to the G. How are you guys feeling? We're close to the finish line. But yeah, this year's been crazy, right? And we're in the last month. But how is 2021 gonna be? I'm sure everybody's curious about that. I will do a general 2021 video very soon, this month in December, to let everybody know like the basics of what to expect for 2021. However, if you want to know how the year 2021 is going to go for you based on your sign, I do have 2021 yearly horoscopes available. These are not personal readings, these are general for your sun, moon, or rising signs, okay? And so these are available. They are between 90 and 120 minutes, you guys, of me going over the entire year in detail for your sign. I do cover, this just the overall how's 2021 going to go for you based on planetary activity for your sign. But then in the very end, I focus in on love, and I focus in on money and the times of the year that are the hottest for each topic. Because when people look at astrology, most of the time that's what they want to know about. Either or, it's like either my money, how's my money and my career going and success, and how's my love life going, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I cover in the 2021 yearly horoscopes. They are packed with plenty of info. So if you want to know how that's gonna go for your sign, how next year is gonna go, definitely check them out, okay? And I do have December 2020 horoscopes available, just focusing on December. We are in eclipse season. We had an eclipse November 30th, or we have one as I'm recording this. It's before December, but yeah, there's November 30th, there's an eclipse, and then December 14th, there's an eclipse. So how are those, how's that going to affect you based on your sign? You definitely want to check out the December horoscopes. I do cover also a little bit of Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius for your signs too. So go to my website, indigomoonAstrology.com, on the horoscopes page, and that's where you can, get more insight into the month of December and also the whole entire year of 2021. All right, so currently in December, overall, in general, what is cracking? What's the energy like? So like I said, the first day of December, we are coming up off of an eclipse that happened on the Gemini and Sagittarius axis. And it's still, that energy is still, it's still a part of the month of December, even though it happened in November. Okay. So pretty much the Gemini Sag axis, we do have the north and south nodes here. They entered in May. They will exit not until the beginning of 2022. So Gemini and Sag in general, they are about the truth. They are about information, the distribution of information, enlightenment to information, like teaching, learning, curiosity. They're about travel, short distances, long distances. The Gemini is like around the way, your neighborhood or your city. And then Sagittarius is beyond that, like other cities, other states, other countries, or whatever. Okay. So seeing the world from a big picture point of view, which is Sagittarius, versus a more on a smaller scale, which is Gemini. So that's in general with that rules. So, that eclipse is highlighting any of those things. But of course, depends on your sign, what it's really bringing to the table. Okay. But for the month of December, the first day, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. Okay. And don't forget, I'm still going to do weeklies whenever possible. I am a working woman. Okay. So there may be some times where I just can't get to the weeklies, but most of the time I'm on it. So I will go into detail about more of these transits in the weeklies. But yeah, just the majority of the month, like the major stuff popping this month. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius only for 20 days though. So from the 1st until the 20th, Mercury in Sag, joining the Sun in Sagittarius, the South Node in Sagittarius. So People are probably okay. Look, now Mercury's communication, right? And Sagittarius energy is very excitable. It's a fire sign, so how people are talking is probably more loud and blunt and in your face, okay? Because fire sign energy is just that. All the fire signs: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Mercury in Sagittarius, Sag energy is very, very excited and excitable. So you'll notice that people are typing and texting and stuff with more exclamation points at the ends of what they're saying. And I have a lot of Sagittarius friends, male and female, masculine and feminine. I love them all very much. And yeah, like I noticed that when that Sag energy is real heavy in their chart, that's what they text with a lot of exclamation points. And I noticed that like they all smile, like unless they have like, heavy Scorpio or Capricorn, like the neighboring signs that are a little more like, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, more low key and just not with the shits with a lot of things. If their Sag energy is very strong, they smile a lot. They're always smiling in their pictures. They always have pictures of themselves like having a good time, partying, a drink in hand, a blunt in hand, or out in nature. You can tell Sagittarians on their social media by them having hella pictures of themselves out in nature or on location somewhere else other than home, right? Outdoors usually, and having pictures of themselves with their dogs and pictures with their arms in the air some kind of way, like freedom, yay. So that's how to easily spot a Sag on social media. But we are all embodying Sagittarian energy with the sun here, Mercury here. So we're communicating in a Sag way. Sages are so fun. They are Sag energy is very humorous as well. So with the sun and Mercury here, we might be like sharing a lot more memes, cracking jokes. I noticed that as soon as the sun went into Sagittarius, a lot of my friends, that were hiding in the shadows during Scorpio season started popping up, sending me funny shit and memes and everything. We were just like sharing. I'm always like that, you know what I mean? But sometimes the energy in the air gets us in some little moods where we're in our feelings and stuff. But Sag energy is more like, hey, it's like after the darkness of it all with Scorpio season comes the light and the lightheartedness of Sagittarius season. So yeah, more jokes, memes, not taking life too seriously, more curiosity about the world and cultures, and wanting to get out and explore, even if that means like going somewhere local that you've never been before. It doesn't always have to mean traveling to another country. So that's the attitude with Sag energy, with Sagittarius season. And then with Mercury here, we're talking more like that. We're thinking more Sagittarian. We're seeing the big picture. Like I always say, Sag looks at things through a telescope, looks beyond, and how far can I go? The impossible is possible, So that's kind of more of our thought process. However, Sag energy is hella blunt, like I said, So we may be, or other people around us may be, just spitfire with what's on our mind. Sag energy is super opinionated, so people get ready for those heated opinions about politics and religion and philosophy and all that shit, like to just come flying out of people's mouths, especially when Mercury enters Sagittarius. So yeah, the sun is in Sag until the 21st, and Mercury follows very closely to the sun until the 20th. All right. So yeah, so watch what you say. Don't get that foot and mouth syndrome like they say. Sagittarians tend to have, like, they say stuff and just blurt it out, and then they're like, what? I was just being honest. I swear, if I had $1 for every time a Sag told me that, what? I was just being honest. OMG, I would be rich than a mug, okay? But oh my gosh, Sages are a trip, man. But yeah, so that's that energy of Mercury in Sag and the sun in Sag. On the 14th, we have we have an eclipse in Sagittarius. Okay. There's other little aspects that are popping, but I'll go over those in the weeklies. I'm just going over the major stuff. But we have an eclipse in Sagittarius the morning or early afternoon, depending upon where you're at, of December 14th. So this is a new moon in Sagittarius. Now, what's interesting about this is a repeat of, I think, 2002, I want to say. 2002. Like, the eclipse cycle of this year where the north and south nodes are at are a very close repeat of 2001, 2002, yeah. So, no, it's 2001, my bad. We're in 2001 repeat season right now. So we have, we had an eclipse, solar eclipse, 23 degrees of Sagittarius in 2001, December 14th. So there may be some things repeating from that year. If you're, if you're old enough, if you were adulting, or if you were old enough to remember anything important going on in your life, even as a kid, in 2001, that can give you some clues and insight into what could be going on for you, what this eclipse might bring to you. December 14th of this year. Was it the same day? Hold on. Shit. Yeah, December 14th. 19 years ago exactly. Oh my gosh. So if you can remember back 19 years ago, if you were around during that time, was there something major going on in your life that this eclipse brought? This could be repeating it. Yo, I can remember. I don't even know if I want to discuss it, but yeah, I can remember that year. It was a very crazy and significant life-changing year for me. I was young, but old enough to remember and to have been going through some things, and I remember the things I was going through, and I'm like, yo, this year is it's not repeating exactly, but I can see some similarities, some similar things that are coming up, kind of, sort of, you know what I'm saying? So try to observe that in your own life. It could be very interesting to look at the patterns of astrology. But this one, it is in a square to Neptune, and it is in a conjunction to Mercury. So, like I said, Sagittarius is about the truth. Sag energy, it's about the truth, but like, they're very blunt and honest. It's very blunt and honest energy, but sometimes it could be about promising more than you can deliver. Because Sag can talk a big game. They think big all the time. They're excited. They're, yeah, let's do this. Hell yeah, I'm all about it. But the follow through with Sag is not always that great. So this eclipse may be bringing up for some people that very fact of, like, where in life you can talk a big game but not have enough follow through, because Sag is fire energy. So that fire energy is excited and in the moment, but then when the moment passes, it's like, oh, they're not really excited about it anymore. They already had the experience, so they just kind of ditched it and moved on to the next experience after that moment. Okay. And so Mercury is like talking a big game. Like I said, there's a square to Neptune from Mercury, the sun, and the moon. So there could be some confusion with this eclipse of, like, what's the truth and what isn't. There could be people trying to play with your emotions, and trying to, because Neptune is a fog, right? People trying to cloud your vision of the truth with, like, sob stories, or, coming at you with some manipulative bullshit or something. So just be aware of that. Or just you yourself, like, maybe you are questioning what's real and what's not with this eclipse, and there could be some revelations of the truth, because Neptune is going to be now direct at that time. And also, I've noticed that this, Mercury and the sun and moon in this eclipse are making a trine aspect to Mars. So Mars demands things, commands, and demands. So we could be commanding and demanding truths with this eclipse. And anything that is, like, a bunch of bullshit, pretty much, we may be fighting against, or saying, no, I don't think so. Give it to me straight, give it to me raw and real. Okay. So yeah, that's what this eclipse could be about. I guess, like, collectively, there could be some things involving, politics to come to light. education, a change in the education systems around us, something involving travel, changes within travel, especially because this is the holiday season, quote unquote, especially in the Western world. And a lot of people like to travel to different places to where they have family. So, maybe with this Sag eclipse, there's a spike in the Rona, as I'm recording this. So maybe there's going to be some changes with regard to travel, like rules and regulations that are put more into place. That can happen with the eclipse on November 30th as well, because Sagittarius is involved in that eclipse too. And then this one could be really like, emphasizing that globally some kind of way, especially in areas where the pandemic is like super, like, it's super strong in its presence during December. Yeah, so, but this could be like just a mind opening eclipse too, opening your mind to the possibilities, because Sagittarius is faith and optimism and opportunity. We may be seeing opportunity where other people see none. And then the square to Neptune, a square is a challenge. It can cloud your vision, but also it can make you believe in things that other people don't believe in. Sag and Pisces, even though they square each other on the zodiac wheel, they both are about believing the impossible, believing the unbelievable, and making your dreams really come true. So even though it's a square, maybe you can be seeing things that other people see as like, oh, that's bullshit, that's not true, or that's not possible. But you're like, no, I know I can make this happen. I know this is real. I believe it with my whole heart and soul. And then the aspect to Mars is like you having the energy to put forth the action to make the impossible possible. You know what I mean? So that's what this eclipse can be about in general for all of us. But of course, if you want a horoscope for December, you know where to go, okay, to see what it brings to you for your sign in particular. Also, it's important to look at what house Mercury rules in your chart, because Mercury is in a conjunction with the eclipse. So if Mercury rules a certain house in your chart, the eclipse is activating that house as well, that part of your life. Like, for example, if Mercury rules your second house of money, this could be an eclipse that affects your finances as well as, wherever Sagittarius is at in your chart, and so on. Okay. All right. So on the 15th, this is when Venus moves into Sagittarius. So Venus joins the Sagittarius party in the sky. She joins Mercury and the Sun in Sag. Venus and Sag, Venus is how we enjoy ourselves, and she just wants to live life to the fullest with no worries. She wants to live the good life. And you see how Sagittarius is up here at the top of the zodiac wheel? Sag energy really goes after the best of the best, not like in a bourgeois way like Capricorn can, like, oh, I only accept blah, 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 blah. Like financially, like that's how Capricorn is. But Sag energy is at the top of the chart, and it's not necessarily about money. Like, Sag energy does not give a shit about money. Sag energy can just throw money in the fucking trash and cheer and go, woo, who cares? No worries. There's plenty. Like, that's how they act. A lot of Sagittarius, they spend money like nothing, man. And that's why Sag rules going to the casino and every type of gambling. And because Sag energy is more about the experience. It's about having the most grand experiences and journeys in life, and looking at life as just those very things, experiences and a journey. You're not here for a long time, you're here for a good time, or whatever that saying is. That's total Sag stuff. So you might as well live it up while you are here, because life is too short, So Sag makes us think all of those things. So Venus is how we enjoy ourselves. So yeah, people really be turning the up, man, when Venus is in Sag. It's really about celebrate. Sag energy is it is about celebrating. It is a very celebratory energy. I mean, look at the time of year that it falls in, at least in the Western world, and then in other cultures too. There's different celebrations at this time of year, oh my God, ghetto ass neighbors. I'm sorry, you guys. I hope you didn't hear all that banging through the fucking wall. Sorry. Anyway, so there's a lot of celebrations at this time of year, right? When it's Sagittarius season. Like in the Western world, we have Thanksgiving. Yes, I know the history behind Thanksgiving. Okay, I have indigenous blood and I've known about all this stuff since I was a kid. Okay, but just in general, like Thanksgiving, you should be grateful and thankful, and you should be celebrating life with your loved ones, and there's plenty of food. You stuff yourself. You eat, drink, and be merry. If the holiday of Thanksgiving wasn't even created, it wouldn't matter. That's just the energy of Sagittarius in the air, and we would all be acting like that anyway. We have Black Friday, which is shopping. And you know what's crazy is like Thanksgiving, they always have to have it on a Thursday. Well, Thursday is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. You see how there's astrology and everything? So it really annoys me when motherfuckers like try to deny, oh, this is so fake, zodiac. Like, dude, shut up. You don't even know how astrology is on your freaking calendar and in your watch, and like, oh my God, just people are so stupid. Anyway, and then Black Friday. Friday is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules shopping and purchasing things, the material things in life. So you see how there's astrology like all in the mix, okay? So even if we didn't label those days as being certain holidays, the energy of Sagittarius is present, and it is about being generous, and it's about just enjoying life to the fullest. So anyway, I can go on and on and on with all of that, but yeah. So Venus in Sag, she loves to shop, she loves to party, she loves to live it up, but she will drain your bank account if you are not careful. Okay, so the whole rest of this month, the whole rest of the month, the 14th or the 15th on, Venus is in Sagittarius. So she likes to party. She loves to party. Okay. She likes drinking. Sagittarius energy loves to drink and not worry about tomorrow and hangovers and then regret it the next day, because it's fire energy. It's impulsive. She doesn't, when it comes to love, she doesn't like to stay in one place. She doesn't like to be trapped or caged in. So people could be mad flighty during Sag season. I'm just letting you guys know the truth. We've got all this fire in the sky. We've got Sag energy. We've got Mars and Aries, which is fire. You know what I'm saying? Hell of fire in the air the last half of the month. So yeah, people could be, not really on that commitment tip, and just, yeah, like flighty, flaky, here one moment, gone the next. One moment they're interested in you and curious about you and excited about you, and then once that experience is over, they're on to the next one, on to the next one. Thank you, motherfucking next, okay? So just be aware of that. All right, so on the 17th, this is when Saturn goes into Aquarius. All right, so there's a lot I can say about this. I will do a 2021 video, like I said, and go more in detail about it, but Saturn is going back into Aquarius. The last time Saturn entered Aquarius, it was early in 2020, and we only got up to like a few degrees of Aquarius. Hang on, I'll bring it up right now. But yeah, Saturn moving into Aquarius. All right. So Saturn in Aquarius, the last time we were at 0 degrees of Aquarius for the first time this year. That was in March. So that was right when the Rona hit. I mean, hello, timing and planetary cycles just like spelling everything out in this world, right? So the 21st of March, Saturn in Aquarius, okay? And Saturn was in Aquarius, only got up to 1 degree. Yeah, only got up to 1 degree of Aquarius, almost 2 degrees. And then through July 1st, went back into Cap. So from March through July of this year, we had Saturn in Aquarius. What happened? The Rona, she hit, okay? And just made the whole social distancing thing, like our world just changed tremendously, drastically. People had to start working from home, going to school from home. You couldn't go here, you couldn't go there. Their businesses started closing down or switching to online versus in person. The online dating app thing, there's a spike in that. People dating on Zoom and having Zoom and FaceTime dates and, shit that my Taurus energy finds to be hella weird. Like, okay, you want to order a human online. This is just kind of crazy. But yeah, we were forced to be. It's weird because Saturn in Aquarius is like Saturn separates and blocks and all of that. So it's pulling us apart as humanity, but at the same time pulling us together. Like it's pulling us apart as far as like locally and in person, but at the same time it pulls us all together collectively, like worldwide. That's what Saturn is. It's rebuilding our world pretty much, because Saturn is about building and structure, literally like architecture and stuff. And Saturn is business, so just expect a continuation of businesses to be switched to online, remote, and stuff like that. And if your business cannot get with the times, they're going to fail, The way that we are connecting as people is totally changing. Things to do with like, it used to be you meet people, you go out to a bar or a club, right? Especially if you're openly dating and trying to meet people for that reason. It's always like go to the club or go to a bar, okay? And that's how you meet people. Now it's different, and Saturn forces and enforces things. So yeah, expect social distancing, the enforcement of it to get even more strict starting in December, or even maybe a little bit before that. And then, once Saturn hits, it's like, bam, it's really in full effect. Just expect that, okay, for the last half of December. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they like to, especially in the Western world, we celebrate Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Saturn in Aquarius is gonna like put the smack down on people that are trying to gather for those reasons, man. But yeah, so I'll go into more detail on Saturn and Aquarius in another video, but pretty much, yeah, to expect our world to continue to change. And then on the 19th, we have Jupiter entering Aquarius, joining Saturn. Okay, where's Jupiter? Where's he at? Okay, so yeah, the 19th. Yeah, Jupiter enters Aquarius. So Jupiter and Saturn will both be together at the 0 degree. Jupiter and Saturn, there's been different times in recent history where because I saw a post, it's like the first time in 800 years they'll be together. Well, they've been close together, conjoined in the same sign, different times in recent history. I do know that in 1999, Jupiter and Saturn were both in the same sign. They were both in Taurus, right? I do know that in 1981, they were very close together in Libra. Okay, so this isn't the first time in thousands of years that they've been in the same sign and close to each other. No, but they are exactly conjoined, and I don't think that has happened in a long time. Maybe that's what that post means. I'll have to look deeper into it, but they are at the same degree, 0 degrees, in the month of December. So what Jupiter in Aquarius is going to do, Jupiter is going to be here only until the end of 2021. So for a whole year. Saturn will be here until 2023. But Jupiter in Aquarius, Jupiter brings knowledge, and, he moves things along, moves things ahead through his wisdom, and he spreads things out and blows things up. What's crazy? It's like, and with Jupiter in Aquarius, when I do a 2021 video, I'll go more into detail about all this too. But notice that like all the news, like Jupiter is about reporting the news, the big topics in the news, right? Whenever Jupiter is in a sign, whatever that sign rules, that'll be a huge like breaking story around the world. For example, Jupiter in Capricorn, police. Capricorn rules the police and it rules the military. And we had huge stories in 2020 involving the police and military scandals, Before that, when Jupiter was in Sagittarius, there was huge scandals like 2019. Yeah, it was like 2019. Huge scandals regarding the educational system, like people, like celebrities and people with money trying to cheat the educational system, so there was some scandals with that. Before that, when Jupiter was in Scorpio, like 2018, there was the Me Too movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to look at the sign and what it rules, and Jupiter will bring the drama, like blown up on a projector screen for the world to see with whatever that sign rules. So Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius together, I can say this, social justice warriors will be on one, okay? If you're not one, they're going to be hunting you down and asking you, what do you stand for? Where do you stand? And who do you represent? And yada, yada, yada. Do you support this or that? And everything that you post on social media will be like graded by social justice warriors, like asking you, well, what does this mean? And do you support this? And does this post mean that you support? Oh my God, we should cancel you. And if you are a social justice warrior, yeah, you're going to be on one. You're going to be really after people about like, are you being inclusive? Now, the inclusivity, of course, my Uranian ass is all about inclusivity, but I'm not like preachy about it. But social justice warriors, just try to keep your preachiness to a decent level. Of course, you guys are the ones that rule making things known that really need to be known, speaking out about things that really need to be spoken out about that other people are just not doing. You guys are the ones to step up and say, yo, I have something to say that nobody is saying and everybody should listen. And that is definitely needed in our world, no doubt about it. So I'm not clowning on that part, on that fact. It's just like when people go way too far, like, oh my God. And just take every little thing that people say or put on social media, or like for example, I did a live stream a couple years ago, and I was like, I was late at night. I just got out of the shower and I threw on an off the shoulder big t-shirt that I had that was Michael Jackson's Thriller album cover on it, and then some social justice warrior commented, oh my God, is that Michael Jackson on your t-shirt? You support pedophilia? Oh, I'm boycotting this channel. We should all protest. Da da da. Is that what you believe in and represent, is pedophilia? I was like, bitch, are you fucking serious? I just threw on a t-shirt. I'm not representing anything. I just literally put a shirt on because it's off the shoulder and a gown. Like, oh my God, it's like it's that type of thing that I think is going to be blown out of proportion when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, unfortunately, and Saturn, because Saturn is forceful energy, and Jupiter wants to spread information. So I get it about a lot of things, but like, people will be going overboard because Jupiter is about going over the top with things. So just be aware of that. If you are a very carefree person, you don't really take life that seriously, and you crack a lot of jokes and sarcasm, Jupiter and Saturn and Aquarius will make people just take all of that stuff up the butt and think that you're making a statement with everything you do and say, when you're really like, I literally am just wearing something because I grabbed it out of my closet real quick. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, just be aware of that. But the pushing forward of everyone being treated fairly and equally and everyone having rights and all of that stuff, of course, that's needed. And Jupiter and Saturn and Aquarius are going to push us into a new, world to where that is more present, which is beautiful. Like, I'm not doubting that, to where we are all, there's more, like I said, inclusivity. Like, I love seeing how Saturn in Aquarius has already dipped his toe in there and like opened the door for that. Even it's even apparent on social media. It used to be on, like, I follow a lot of beauty and fashion pages, and I see the difference that Saturn and Aquarius has made, and it's fucking dope, right? Yeah, so just expect that to continue. And I can go on a whole rampage about all that stuff. Once again, I'll save it for another video. Okay, let's just focus on December. All right, so December 20th, we have Mercury moving into Capricorn. Mercury is going to be in Cap the rest of the month. Where's he at? Okay. Yeah, Mercury and Cap. So communication is more Capricorn-esque. It gets a little more serious, It's not as joking and haha as Sagittarius energy. It's more like dry humor, sarcasm, very just marching straight ahead. And I'm not looking outside of the path that I'm on. So if you say something, I'm gonna take it literal. Okay, that's Mercury and Cap all day. I've noticed that Capricorn people, Saturnian people, even 10th house people, they take everything very literal that you say. And when you're being sarcastic and they're like, oh, so you're saying blah blah. No, ninja, it's a joke. Haha. It doesn't mean literally. You have to explain your jokes, and then they're not funny anymore. Oh my god, I love Capricorn energy for a lot of things, but that part, my jokester, court jester side doesn't really vibe with, to be honest. So yeah, if there's still the sun in Sag for a hot second, Venus in Sag, so there's still that playful energy in the air that just wants to, not take things too seriously. But then there's Mercury in Capricorn, which is like, oh yes, we must be serious and all about business. So Mercury in Capricorn is speaking more like an authoritarian, being a boss, okay, and just. Yeah, you're thinking in terms of the future, which Sagittarius energy previously did too, but it's more serious. I always say this, Capricorn energy they're probably the ones that invented, what's your 5-year plan? Okay, it's thinking ahead in a practical way to where you're planning things out and you're mapping out the way the strategies in which you're going to execute things. Whereas when Mercury was in Sag, it was the dream, the arrow pointing in that direction, I'm going to get there. I don't know how, but fuck it, I'm just going to get there. That's the Sag arrow, just shoots that way and just, I'm going to figure it out, whatever. I'm just going to go and take off. But Capricorn is actually sitting down and figuring out the execution of the plan step by step. Okay, so this can be in regards to business, to any goals that you have, because Capricorn is also at the top of the chart, the top of the zodiac wheel. So it is about reaching the top, success, business, making your mark on the world, making a name for yourself, how you're going to be remembered, your legacy. Cap is all about history too. So Mercury here can have us thinking about history, talking about history, respecting elders, the forefathers, the tried and true paths, stuff like that. Okay, vintage, things that are vintage, people may be more interested in. And then the next day on the 21st, this is when the sun moves into Cap. So we have the sun and Mercury very close together in Capricorn. So that Cap energy I just talked about is intensified. Sorry about all the noise, you guys. I am sitting in a little confined space to have privacy to record these horoscopes, and I have I move around a lot, and yeah, there's whatever. So anyway, yeah, the sun and Mercury in Capricorn is so more of a focus on history. And you know how there's in the Western world, there's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day during Capricorn season. And those days are about tradition. Capricorn is about tradition, carrying on traditions and legacies, and talking about, sitting around and talking about, well, your great great grandparents, they blah 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 blah, and they came to this country and they did this, or they did this for a living, and therefore that's why this relative and that relative, they do this, and you are expected to carry on such and such and whatever. Those discussions are ruled by Capricorn. And also sitting around with family and looking at photos and old documents that are family related. That's all Cap stuff too. So that's why we have the Sag energy that makes us woohoo, turn up, celebrate, but then the Capricorn is you gather with those close to you in your circle and you talk about like, history and stuff. Yeah, so the sun in Capricorn, it can make people more business minded, more serious. Okay. So the sun is in Cap from December 21st on to like January. So, and then we have on the 23rd, Mars is square Pluto. Okay. Now I will talk more about this in the weeklies, you guys, but, I wanted to bring this up only because it is an aspect that can be, I'm not trying to be fear mongering or anything like that, but when there's aspects that could be potentially like dangerous, I do like to bring them up. Okay, I do like to bring them up. Okay, so on the 23rd, we have the moon and Mars together in Aries, and the Mars will be exactly making a square aspect to Pluto. Okay, so the 23rd can be a day that's very impulsive because the moon is our emotions and thoughts and stuff too. And then Mars is, and the moon is our emotional reactions to things and how we take things in emotionally that other people are doing or saying. And then Mars is action. It's also conflict and anger and fights and stuff. Okay, so be careful because Mars square Pluto, Mars and Pluto squaring each other. Mars is conflict and Pluto is inflicting pain like on people. Okay. This is a potentially dangerous aspect. So just be aware of your surroundings on that day, especially like if you do, travel around alone. Some people, it could bring out the shadiness in people, Mars square Pluto, or people that just, they want to seek revenge on others. They want to attack others. They really want to just penetrate you with pain. Okay. That's just what comes to mind. People can have explosive anger on that day. So, and just act out violently. And if people are getting together with family, if there's family members that you don't really get along with, you have the potential to be scrapping, the 23rd mostly. Most people get together like the 24th, 25th. But if you're around people that make you feel that way, you may want to just kind of steer clear of them, especially the 23rd. Or, if they bring out that side of you, or if they have the potential to be like violent or anything. Now this could bring out a lot of passion and energy to just get things done and just go full speed ahead. No interruptions from anyone else are like, you don't allow any interruptions to get in the way of what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to accomplish. It's tunnel vision, this is passionate energy too that can be good in the, the intimacy department or whatever. It can be good for that. But yeah, there is potential danger with this on the 23rd. So just keep in mind the 23rd, watch yourself, okay? And then on the 29th, we have a full moon eclipse in Cancer. It is an eclipse, right? I keep getting confused on it because I've been focusing on like, it's not an eclipse. Why did I mark it as an eclipse? Does this calendar have it as an eclipse? Why does this calendar have it as an eclipse? Oh no, that's the 30th of freaking November. How confusing. Why did they put it in December? All right, Cafe Astrology. Look, I'm rocking with you on your ephemeris, but this is confusing AF. Okay, so it's just a regular full moon in the sign of Cancer. My bad. On the 29th. So full moon in Cancer. We always have a full moon in Cancer. It's not some big shift phenomenon or anything. But a full moon in Cancer is very highly emotional. All full moons are emotional, okay? And Cancer is ruled by the moon. More emotions, more water, okay? So, yeah. We have the sun in Cap and the moon in Cancer. They're opposing each other. This is like, something, it could be work versus family that comes up, career versus family. It could be spending time really going after your goals versus spending time in your feelings at home, in your bed, comfy, in a blankie, watching Netflix, like that's just the general of this energy. Okay. This full moon is making a square aspect to Chiron and Aries. So there could be like maybe some things involving like your childhood and your upbringing and parental figures. And, if there's any pain involved with any of that, this full moon can bring stuff like that to the surface, to be quite honest with you. So just be aware of that. Because Cancer energy does harbor a lot of deep emotions, especially rooted in childhood and family. And then Chiron is called the wounded healer. It's the asteroid that's like a soft spot for you. It's like a bruise, that doesn't always quite heal and can get, if you get like even tapped in that bruise, like it can hurt, it can activate that pain again. That's what Chiron represents. So the moon is square Chiron. So there can be maybe just some things that come to the surface and boil up. And yeah, this is a time of year where a lot of people are dealing with family more than usual. So this is just something to be aware of. This full moon in Cancer, it's also making a trine and a sextile aspect to Uranus. So that's enlightenment, sudden information that's shocking, sudden truths, the shocking, sudden aha light bulb moments, that come to you. And it can be about some emotional stuff, some family stuff, childhood, whatever. It could be information about members of your family that comes to you with this full moon as well. And some of it may not be that pretty, may not be that great. Or maybe it is something that's healing, because Chiron is the wounded healer. It's not just about, suffering. It's like healing an old wound. So maybe there's emotional conversations in regards to family, legacy, history, whatever, that are shocking truths, but they help to heal situations. So that's just in general what that full moon means. And that wraps up the month. And of course, with all of the transits that I mentioned, you guys, December 2020 horoscopes are available to order for your sign. And then, like I said, this is the last month of the year, y'all. So 2021, these are available for your sign as well. If you want to know. And just to clarify, these are videos just like this one that are voiceovers you can listen to. These are not reports that are generated and spit out like a Zoltar machine that's on the Santa Monica Pier, or that's in the movie Big, if you remember that movie from back in the 80s. Okay, this is not a Zoltar machine. This is a half human over here that actually creates these and actually sends you the link. And I don't have automatic emails or an assistant or any of that. So if you have patience, most def order these. You guys know I get down with the details. I always say I gets down with the details. So those are no different. So go to my website. I'll link it below. And yeah, don't forget to follow me on IG for more astro goodies. And I hope you guys have a safe and happy holiday season, or just month of December, wherever you're at in the world. And I will see you guys in my future videos. All right, peace out.